Hello and welcome to, of course, another live lesson here on the Page One English YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys have had or are having a wonderful day, of course. Hopefully you're excited to learn and enjoy talking about an interesting topic. Yes. Maybe some of you are familiar with this topic. Maybe some of you are not so familiar with this topic. So it should be a real mixed bag, maybe. Meaning there's, of course, many different varieties of people and sort of opinions about this topic. All right. Hi, hello. Dominico, hello as well. Stacy, hello. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining. Awesome, of course, to see you guys. Thank you very much indeed. So, as you can see, today's lesson is all about the topic gambling. Yes. So, I think it's kind of I would say it's a very important and very interesting topic to talk about. And especially gambling is something that is popular all around the world. In many countries, we can see lots of gambling happening pretty much every single day. So I like this topic because it gives us some very interesting vocabulary. Yes. All right, Pat Civil, hello, good to see you. I'm doing well, thank you very much. Amina, hello, good evening to you as well, of course. So yes, as I was saying, gambling is quite a popular hobby, quite a popular thing around the world. So yes. All right, so yes, we're going to get into it, of course, today. Hopefully there'll be a few more people coming over and joining us in just a moment, and then I will get the lesson started, of course. Okay, but yes, I think it's important for us to learn about topics that we might not be familiar with, especially for those people who are taking IELTS tests, or as I said before, like the Cambridge tests as well. Sometimes unfamiliar topics pop up in the tests that we have to talk about. So it's important for us to try and learn about maybe things that we are not always familiar with, that we can still formulate a sort of an answer or an opinion about. So it's always good for us to think about and learn about other topics too. Alrighty, so let's get started. Okay. All right, let's get going and let's get started with today's lesson, which is all about gambling, of course. So let's head over to the other section. Okay. Oh, yes, you've seen it. Sneak peek again. Idioms. Yes, we will have idioms coming up later on, of course. Last week, we didn't really look at too many idioms. So this week, we've got some really cool idioms that we can use related to gambling, but not limited to gambling. That's an interesting sentence. If you say related to but not limited to, it means that it can be used, or they can be used outside of that specific topic. They are not limited to just, of course, the topic of gambling. We could use them in everyday life, in business. There's a few in there that we can use casually. There's a few in there that we could use professionally. So the idioms today are very, very useful. Very useful indeed. All right, so let's take a look here then. Domenico, yes, this topic has cropped up more often than not in IELTS. Yes, because it's a social topic, right? Gambling is a social topic that affects, or I would say many people are very knowledgeable about. So yeah, we talk about it in the news. We talk about it on documentaries. Especially in England, gambling is very, very popular. Okay, so let's get started, and we're going to head over to the PowerPoint presentation here. Aria, hello and good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining, of course. So, firstly, let's take a look here. What can we gamble on? Okay, so, hello, Grindstone. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for joining as well. Okay, so first, I would like you guys, again, as usual, I'm going to throw out a question to begin the lesson with. So in the comments, please brainstorm, think about what can we gamble on, right? What are things that we can actually gamble on, put money on? So, for example, the first one that I thought of, the most, I would say, popular one, especially in the UK, is football. But what other things can we gamble on? Let me know in the comments, just quickly, what are your ideas, right? I want to get an idea for sort of the knowledge that you guys have on where we can gamble and what we can gamble on. All right. So, what are some of the other things that we can gamble on? Football or soccer, if you want to call it that, that's okay, is one. Anything else? What are some other ones that we can use for an idea? Horse racing. Okay, cool. Stacy, nice. Yep, horse races. Very good. Very, very good indeed. Cool. Any others? What else can we use? Hello, Clau. Good morning. Yes, please don't be gambling now. Of course. Betting on billiards. Interesting. That's a good one. Yeah, very, very good indeed. Football games, yes, the last decade, absolutely, yeah. Football has been incredibly popular for betting, yes. Nowadays, lottery, Aria, yes. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Yeah, lottery is a good one as well. We can also, like, for example, we can gamble, or we can kind of bet between friends as well, right? So I think Aria's point of betting on billiards, I would say in England, like, for example, in England, we would call it pool. So we bet on pool, which is usually 8-ball pool that we use. And yes, 9-ball pool is in the US. We can say snooker as well, which is on a larger table. Yes. The casino. Yes. There we go. Of course. Yes. Casino Royale is one that pops into my head when I think of those with Mr. James Bond. Good evening, Julia. Thank you very much for joining us. Lovely. Yes, absolutely. So we've got lottery, playing cards. Yes, very good indeed. Grindstone. Casino as well. Billiards, football, horse racing. Perfect. Yeah, card games. So let's take a look at some of the ones that I thought of while I was preparing. Okay. Horse racing was the next one that I thought of. So yes, we think alike, of course. The next one as well. I put pretty much any sport, right? Any sport that you can think of, we can usually gamble on, right? You can gamble on handball. You could gamble on, what's the one in Philippines? Cockfighting, right? Is an incredible sport, I think. They usually call it a sport. So yes, We can gamble on any sports. Basketball, rugby, baseball, anything. Yeah, it's incredible. Boat racing, that's particularly popular in Japan, actually. Poker, as you said, cards, right? Card games. Blackjack is another one as well. Roulette, of course, is a good one. Maybe you didn't know this, but you can gamble on the presidential election. Or in England, we have Prime Minister, right? The elections. You can bet on or gamble on which party, which leader of the party will win the election. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Stock markets, right? You can gamble on them as well, right? If you sometimes want to say that you think a stock will go up or go down, you can gamble on that. Maybe it wins. Crypto. We talked about cryptocurrencies before on this channel. Bingo is another one. Yes, there we go. Yes, Aria, online gaming. Huge now. Massive. Very, very good indeed. As I said, yeah, online casinos or online sort of betting places, betting websites. Table games. Basically, in the casino, they have lots of card games. We usually call these table games because they are played on a table, of course. Now, just quickly, thinking of casinos, thinking of these types of games, I just wanted to get you guys to kind of refresh your memories if you're familiar with the names of course, our games that we have in the casinos, right? So let's take a look here. Oops. It shuffled off the page. So let's take a look here, and we're going to have a look at just 4 games that we can play in the casino. And I want you to tell me, lovely little bit of music there. I want you guys to tell me what game it is. This is super duper easy. So let's take a look here. What game is this one here? What would you say? Is it slots? Is it blackjack? Or is it poker? As I said, these 4 questions are just really, really quite simple. All right. So what would you say is the first one? Okay. Try. Hello. Good evening. Fee. Hello as well. Very good to see you. Okay. Yes, Domenico, I used to do the same at university as well. Yeah, I used to enjoy putting a few bets on the football on Saturdays. It was great fun. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. This one. Okay. Everybody says poker. Yeah. Actually, no, it's not poker. Right? Yeah, this one's not poker. Because if you see, the cards are face up, right? We can see everyone's cards. And in poker, we don't see other people's cards. So it has to be blackjack. Yes, blackjack, they usually deal the cards face up so we can see them. So this is blackjack. Trying to get to 21, of course. Now this one is, of course, very easy. Is it poker? Is it roulette? Or is it blackjack? Okay. Yes, absolutely. Saturdays was the best one for football, right? Yeah. In England, we had midday games. Then we had the 3 p.m. game. And then we had a 5:30 p.m. game as well. So we had lots of games to bet on. It was great fun. It made the football more interesting. Yes, absolutely. Everybody's got this spot on. Roulette. Yes. Very interesting game, this one. Yeah, unpredictable, isn't it? So many numbers. So many numbers to fall on. Okay. The next one is this: poker, roulette, or blackjack? I've kind of given the answer away. Yes. If you saw the first two answers, this one will be even easier, of course. Okay. So yes, Haishi, thank you very much. Domenico, awesome. Stacy, yes. Aria, of course. Great job indeed. Okay. Any others? Yes, poker, roulette, or blackjack. Yes, Julia, absolutely correct as well. Yeah, you can, of course, see only your cards. So this one is, of course, poker. It's a table game, indeed. And the last one, poker, roulette, or slots, right? Yes. In a minute, I will give you an idiom for this, because this is a funny idiom that we can use for people that play this kind of game, so to speak. Yes, good. Stacey, well done. Domenico, well done. Aria, fantastic. Amina, yes, very good. Okay. Cha, awesome stuff. Thank you. Indeed, well done. Okay, very good. Haishi, yes. Fantastic. All right. Well done as well. Yep, you're absolutely right. These are slots, yes, or slot machines, if you want to. And if you know someone who plays slot machines, you can call them a one-armed bandit. Yes, they are known as one-armed bandits. Because they only use one arm to play the game. They don't use anything else. It's just using your one arm and then that's it. So many people call them one-armed bandits. So it's quite a funny idiom for us to use. Okay, so moving along then, let's take a look at some cool and important vocabulary that we can use when talking about this topic. All right. And as I say always, if you can, please don't play slots. I don't know why I'm doing this. If you can, please type along if you want to practice any of the sentences or the vocabulary that we use. And as always, I will try and correct anything that needs correcting. Okay. So let's get into the vocabulary. All right. The first one that we're going to look at is, of course, the words gamble and bet. These are probably the most popular ones that we see. And we hear of these, I would say, most of the time, right? Very, 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 I would say, popular for us to use. Could you please give us the spelling? Oh, yes. So here, one-armed bandit. There we go. It's in the chat for you guys. Yes. Thank you for asking. So yes, gamble and bet are popular for us to use. And we usually say, like, these used to gamble on something or to bet on something. I think, Dominica, you used like place a bet on, right? That's fine. But we often, I would say naturally, we shorten it. We say, like, for example, I used to bet on, right? we can use that more naturally nowadays, right? Gamble on something. So we always use the preposition of on, right? Bet on something, gamble on something. So, for example, Alex likes to bet on the horses, meaning horse racing, every Saturday, right? Or if it's a casino game, we often say play, right? So, for example, in this case here, Angela, should be likes. Angela likes, yes, to play blackjack, right? You could say, like, Angela likes to bet on blackjack, but usually because of casino games, we can kind of control certain parts of it, so we're actually playing the game. Whereas a football match or a horse race, we cannot control anything. So that's why it's a little bit different, right? So yes. So we would use this one. Angela likes to play blackjack if it's a casino game. But if it's anything else like sport, we usually say bet on or gamble on, right? She likes to gamble on the basketball, right? That's okay for us to use as well. Okay, the next one that I like, and these are three super popular words in the UK. Yes, of course, you might hear the word gamble, you might hear the word bet, but you will also hear these three really cool words to use. One is wager, right? I have a wager on Man U winning the title. It's a synonym, so meaning it's a similar word to bet. It has a similar meaning, right? I have a wager, I have a bet on Man U winning the title. Yes. He likes to gamble on instant lotteries. Yes. Very good. Yeah, scratch cards. Scratch cards is another one. I didn't include that, but I should have done. Yes. So as you can see, right, this one here using wager. Okay. But if anybody had a wager on Man U winning the title, you've definitely lost. So you don't need to worry about that one. They are terrible at the moment. And that is speaking from a Manchester United fan. The next one, I like this one. Flutter. Again, this is, I would say, a very unique word for us to use. It does have other meanings, but it can also mean to bet as well. I had a little flutter on the cricket yesterday. Yeah, that's a good one for us to use. Again, just meaning I had a small bet on the cricket game, right? You can talk about flutter when someone, of course, moves their eyelashes up and down. You can say she fluttered her eyelashes. But in this case, it means to bet. And the next one is this one here. Punt. Yes, punt. I'm going to have a punt on the Grand National this year. Again, it means to bet, right? But a punt kind of means a little bit of a different thing, right? We can sort of say, right, it means to bet, but also it has a little bit of another meaning as well, a secondary meaning, which of course means that it's a little bit of a long shot, meaning we don't know if it's going to be successful or not. So we would say, I'm going to have a punt, meaning that if it's successful, wonderful. If it's not, it doesn't matter too much. Betting on Manchester United has always been a bit risky. Yes, in the last 5 years, yes, definitely, of course. Great, indeed. Yusuf, hello. We don't gamble in Algeria as Muslim country, but this topic is quite interesting. Yes, and that's an interesting part, is that some countries don't allow for gambling. Technically speaking, in Japan, gambling is not really allowed. However, you can gamble on horse racing, boat racing, but yes, the other sort of types of gambling are not allowed. I'm going to have a punt on bitcoins. There we go. Yes. Risky business. I remember I will put my teeth back in. I remember losing my bet just for one game, and that was sometimes for Manchester United. Gambling in my country is illegal. There we go. Yeah. That's why it's an interesting conversation. It's an interesting topic, is because we all have different experiences. In England, it's so easy to gamble on anything, right? You have such a huge variety of ways to gamble. But in other countries, it's prohibited. It's not allowed, which is so interesting. And of course, it creates for a nice topic of conversation. So there we go. We've got those ones here, right? Gamble, bet, to gamble on something, to bet on something. If it's a casino game, play, of course, something. We can also use the interesting vocabulary of wager, flutter, and punt as well. Okay. So moving on to some other vocabulary as well. And this is, again, I like to talk about these because they're quite specific in the UK. Betting shop. This is a place often on the high street where you can go and make a bet. You can make bets in the shop. You write out your paper and you give it to the staff member, and then that's how you place your bets. All right. Not always a good idea. You can try your hands at gambling if you are made of money. Yes, of course, indeed. You need to be aware. Yes, and don't risk everything. But yes, betting shops are a very common thing in the UK, indeed. All right, the next one is bookmakers, right? Bookmakers. This is another word for betting shop, or sometimes it's used to describe a person who allows you to place bets with him. He is a bookmaker, right? He allows you to place bets with him. And then if you win, of course, you take his money. Yes, he has to give you money because you won. All right, that is a bookmaker. But I would say in modern days, we say bookmaker as a betting shop as well now. It's not just one person. So if you see a shop, you can say, that's a bookmaker's. However, there's another common word that is used, and that is a shortened version of this word, which is bookies. Yes, this is a slang word for bookmaker. So in the UK, we would say bookies. I would say the bookies is the most common for us to use. Yes, it's more common than betting shop. It's more common than bookmakers. Yes, we would say bookies is the correct one. All right, the next one is, let's take a look here. Dead cert. Yes. Oh, this is a cool one as well. Dead cert. This means that something is certain to happen. Or the person telling you it is thinks it will happen. So this is an interesting one. Many people who like to give advice, they will say, this is a dead cert. Meaning, if you place a bet, if you gamble on this, you will win. You cannot lose. Yes. Do you believe them? I'm not sure. Many people think their advice is perfect. Right. On make bets or and make bets. You could say make, I would say in this case, you would say make bets, right? You can, like a bookmaker is someone that allows you to make bets, like with them. Yes. But you can bet on sports. Whenever we're talking about like the sport, you can say make a bet on and then the sport, right? Yeah, dead cert is an interesting slang language that we use as well. So let's have a look at this in a sentence. I'm going down the bookies later today. Do you want me to put a wager on for you? I've got a dead cert in the 2:50 p.m. race. So here you can see that we've used 3 of the interesting vocabulary. We've used bookies, right? Are you going down to the bookies? Are you going to the betting shop? Sorry, I'm going down to the bookies. I'm going to the betting shop. Do you want me to put a wager on for you? So, do you want me to put a bet on my sort of idea, my advice for you? And then we use I've got a dead cert, meaning it's definitely going to win. This is the winner. I've got it. In the 2:50 p.m. race. You hear that a lot with horse racing. Any kind of racing, especially horse racing, many people say dead cert. Yes. Just imagine I live in a small municipality and it's mind-blowing to see how many betting shops have cropped up in a small urban area. Yes, they do. Lots of betting shops have emerged recently. It is a game of probabilities and possibilities. Yes, there we go. Indeed it is. Okay, so those are just some interesting vocabulary again. And, you know, these will help you sound much more natural. If you use things like bookies, if you use things like wager, flutter, punt, it just increases the naturalness of your vocabulary and of the way you speak. So yes. Mari, hello. Good evening to you. Okay. Alrighty. So now comes the sort of interesting topic of something that I think we have to talk about when talking about this topic. And that is addiction, right? Whenever you talk about things like alcohol, gambling, social media, online gaming is another one, we need to talk about addiction. So some of these words, some of these phrases will be able to be used in sync with, of course, those topics as well. Very, very flexible to be used. So for example, first, addict. right? An addict is a person that is addicted to something, meaning they cannot stop, right? He is an addict. She is an addict, right? We use them and place it as a noun, right? He is, she is. I am, right? And then we can say addict as well. So basically, somebody who cannot stop doing something. The next one is addictive personality. Now, this is an interesting one that often comes up in conversations, right? Especially when we are talking about things that people do get addicted to. Someone who has an addictive personality is someone that knows they might get addicted to something, right? So if I know that let's say I like online games and I get really, really addicted to them, and then someone asks me, oh, do you want to go to the betting shop? Do you want to go to the bookies and have a flutter? Oh, I have an addictive personality. I don't want to. I don't want to start something like that. I'm worried, right? So I know that I have some element of sort of addictiveness in my character, in my personality. So we can often use this when we're talking about like we don't want to do something, or we could change it. We can say, I don't have an addictive personality. This is usually when someone says, like, I can stop anytime. It's no problem. I don't have an addictive personality, right? So yeah, that's kind of an interesting one as well. Also as well, we use the phrase addicted to something, right? For example, she is addicted to playing online poker, right? Addicted to. All right. So we can use that one there. Addicted to and then something. All right. Another example is he is addicted to gambling on horse racing. And he is addicted to, and then of course, yeah, gambling on horse racing. Yeah, you could kind of say, you could actually shorten it as well. She is addicted to online poker. You don't have to use the ing. You can, of course, cut it out. He is addicted to horse racing. Generally, that's a little bit of a difficult one, because if you say he is addicted to horse racing, it could mean he is addicted to watching horse racing, not gambling. So in some senses, you may have to clarify what the addiction is, right? So in that case, you would have to say he is addicted to gambling, right? If someone says he is addicted to football, oh, he's addicted to playing football, watching football, reading about football, not necessarily gambling. So we sometimes have to be specific when talking about the addiction. All right. The next part is we also use, for example, something and then addiction, right? For example, in this case, we might say alcohol addiction, right? Gambling addiction. So we would use what it is and then addiction. So remember the pronunciation for this one is addiction, right? Addiction. We don't really use the T sound. It's more of a sh sound in there. Addiction. So, for example, alcohol addiction is a serious problem nowadays. Yes, we can use those ones there. Or we can use suffer from as well. So it's another good one. Suffer from, and then the kind of addiction it is. I have suffered from gambling addiction for many years, right? So we can use suffer from or suffered from, talking about the past. So yes, we can use that one there as well. Very, very useful when talking about people. We can talk about ourselves, we can talk about others, but yes, addiction is a very, very important part of talking about gambling, of course. Yes. But yeah, we can use these for many things. You can talk about alcohol, you can talk about social media. I have suffered from social media addiction for many years. You can use that one, that's okay. I think it's kind of a recognized thing nowadays. Yeah, so it's interesting. All right, cool. So this is a cool thing. What are the benefits of gambling? Yes. What are the good points of gambling? So again, this is a little bit of an interactive part. Is I would like you guys to think about what are the benefits of gambling. So, do you think that there are benefits of gambling? Do you think there are no benefits of gambling? So in the comments, please write down what you think are the benefits of gambling. Yes, I would be interested to know what you think are some benefits. He seems to watch cricket all the time, but when we ask, he would say he's in this case, Arya, he doesn't have an addictive personality. Wow, cool. Amina, no problem. There is no benefit. Okay, good. Very, very good indeed. Yes. Yeah. And of course, I would say some of these are very controversial. Maybe some people may not agree with these benefits. Some people may agree. But yes, it's all opinionated. I'm afraid to say I can't think of any benefits of gambling. Sure, okay. Yeah, interesting. Good. Good friendship. Grindstone, nice. That's an interesting one. Well done. Very, very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah, that could be a cool one. Because you have friends that enjoy the same thing. Intention of making money. There we go. Right? What are... or what is the potential of making money? I don't know. Yeah. It's a waste of time and stress and money. Yes. Very, very good indeed. Amina, this one here, just to use this one. Waste. There we go. Making a fortune at a single stroke. Yeah. Yeah, if you're lucky, yes, you can. That's true. Yeah, try. Yeah, gambling can help us release some stress. Yeah. Boyana, the benefit of gambling is only for the country where this money flows. The income increases. There we go. Yes. Economical benefits, right? Absolutely. So let's take a look at some that I thought of. Yes, maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Yes. Earn money, of course. Gambling is about winning. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very, very important part of gambling is everyone wants to win money. Yes, it helps. It helps entertain us. Yeah, just use us after entertain. Good. See, I agree. The next one is that it's easy to start. Yes, it is very easy to start. Maybe not so easy to give up. Gambling takes many forms. For example, you've got sports. You can bet on horses, football, rugby. So it can make things more interesting for you, right? You can gamble on something that you genuinely like. So if you like football, then if you gamble on football, then it makes it more fun, probably, and could make it sort of profitable as well. The next one, yes, fun and entertaining, right? As many of you said, we need to release stress sometimes from work, from life, from everything. How do we do that? We have hobbies. We have things that we enjoy doing for entertainment purposes. Some people like watching movies, TV shows. Some people gamble, I suppose. So yes, fun and entertainment as well. Variety of games, kind of like what I said anyway in the second part. And also, as Grindstone mentioned earlier about having friends, it can be a social occurrence. If you have friends that enjoy the same sport or enjoy the same thing as you, it makes it like a social gathering. So you can meet your friends, you can have a day out, you can enjoy together. So it's kind of building relationships, building friendships as well. So that is sort of an interesting, good side to gambling. Another one is, as you said, about money. It's good for the economy and tourism. Yes. If you have a sort of a country that likes, accepting tourists to come and gamble, then they're going to make a lot of money. Absolutely, they will. That's why places like Macau and Las Vegas, they make a lot of money because lots of tourists go there to gamble and have fun, I suppose, as well. But yes, it's very good for the local economy and tourism too. And also another benefit that maybe you are not familiar with, in England, the lottery is, of course, a form of gambling. However, one benefit from that is lottery funding for sports. So we take a lot of money from the lottery and give it to sports men and women, athletes, such as Olympic athletes. They provide facilities, they provide trainers, coaches, all of those necessary necessary things for them to improve. So the lottery is great for local sports people in the UK. All right, now moving on to the dark side, the dangers of gambling. Yes. So once again, what do you think are the dangers of gambling? I suspect that you guys will probably find more dangers than we did for benefits. So yes, what are the dangers of gambling? What do you think they are? While gambling can help you release your stress, your pent-up energy, The drawbacks of gambling outweigh the benefits. Yes, they can. But what are those drawbacks? What are those negatives? Yes. What do you think they are? Which will be an interesting thing. Yeah. Gonna go and grab some water. Okay. I'm sure that most people will agree that there are more dangers than there are benefits. Yeah. Yeah, main income from, of course, Macau's main income is the casino, the casinos that they have. Yeah. It's an amazing economy that they've built there. Very, very good. Wasting of time and money. Yes, good. They may miss important events. Oh, Arya, that's an interesting one. Yeah, good. They may miss important events for sort of their family or their work. Yeah, very good. Slippery slope. Yep, good. Very good. It can go downhill very fast. Yeah. We can also use another good phrase, spiral out of control, right? Something spirals out of control, it means that we can't really stop it. Yeah, and that's a good phrase to use. I'll put that in the chat actually. Yeah, we can use this one. Spiral out of control. Very similar to like slippery slope. They can strip you clean, yes. Yeah, it can lead to depression and other anxiety related problems, yes. Health issues, yeah, absolutely. You will lose your money, your family, and yeah, you could lose everything. Your house, your job, your family, yeah, very, very good indeed. Yeah, it could create problems with relationships, absolutely. If you are addicted to gambling at a large scale, you are likely to lose. You are likely to lose all your fortunes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, debt, right? Getting into debt. I heard one story where a woman was addicted to online gambling, and she used a lot of company money because she had access to the money, and she gambled it all online while in her office working. So it's easily done. Yeah, it's not something that is too difficult to do. Depending on others for money to spending on gambling. Yes, very, very good indeed. So, relationship problems are the biggest ones, I think. It could be, problems with friends, problems with family, problems with colleagues. Relationship problems in general are a big, big danger of gambling. Financial problems, as you said, getting into debt, relying on other people, bankruptcy, right? As you said, strip you clean, you lose everything, your house, your savings, you have nothing. Yes. Legal problems or imprisonment. Now, this is an interesting one because addicts, so people who are addicted to certain things, they turn to other things that are not so good to help pay for their bad habit. Stealing things, right? Could be one of those. They steal money from other people to gamble on a sport or at the casino. Poor work performance or job loss. If you're thinking about gambling all of the time, you're not thinking about your work or your job. So it may may make you unproductive. It may make you a bad team player, so you could lose your job. Yeah, that would be sort of the slippery slope starting. Yes. Also, general health would be poor as well. Many people wouldn't take care of themselves. They may develop depression, anxiety, of course. Yes, so those are pretty bad. And the worst part, I think, as well, is that this is not uncommon. I wish it was uncommon, but it's not. Suicide is a major, major problem for people addicted to gambling. The number has increased since online gambling started. It's been very, very publicly announced that there have been more deaths because of these problems that they have. But yes, suicide attempts, or thinking about suicide is a really, really sad part of gambling. So yes, it's not one of the good things, of course, about it. Cool. So that's just looking at the differences, right? Differences of opinions. So now, what do you think about gambling, right? This is applying your thoughts, applying your opinions to a question. What do you think about gambling? We often talk about things like this. We often use this question, what do you think about, and then something. So it's always good to practice giving our opinions, stating what we think. Do we think it's positive? Do we think it's negative? This is always a good thing for us to practice, especially if you're expected to give long answers in tests, or especially if you're thinking about written tests as well, that you may have to think about positives or negatives, or good points and bad points. So this one here, what do you think about gambling? So I've prepared a kind of an answer, and I'm going to pick out a few words for you that we can just explore in just a second. I think it is much easier for people to gamble nowadays due to the fact that we have a lot of online gambling sites. You can have a flutter on anything from the football to playing online poker. This can lead to people becoming addicted to gambling, and their habit can quickly spiral out of control. Made a mistake with one of the B's there in habit. Many addicts isolate themselves from their friends and family and try to hide the addiction that they have, which has resulted in many sad situations of suicide. People should be careful when they gamble and have a limit. All right. So as you can see here, I've used a few of the words that we looked at earlier. Gambling sites, flutter. We can use like here, have a flutter on. We can say to bet on, to gamble on. As we talked about here, it can lead to people becoming addicted to, right? Using those ones, addicted to something, addicted to gambling. And as it says here, spiral out of control, similar to slippery slope. It means, again, that they cannot control themselves. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And then, of course, yes, talking about the sad situation of suicide. And the last one is have a limit, right? Basically, limit is if I lose this much money, I stop. Right? I don't try to get it back. I don't try to chase it. If I lose this, that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. I go home. It's just entertainment. Yes. Yeah, good. Very, very good indeed. So, I would much prefer to blow my money on a trip than spend money on gambling. Yes. It's a double-edged game. Could be, yes. The demerits of gambling overshadow its merits. Very true. Gambling is sometimes necessary for one's relaxation. True, it can be, yeah. Risking money on something in order to win money is not always a good ideal. I'm completely against gambling, even if there's a chance of getting some sort of money. Cool, I like it. Good idea. I would say it's fine, you just enjoy it, but it's not good if you get into it to the point of losing control. Yes, having a limit, right? Putting a barrier on what you will spend. Yeah. And also as well, I think another thing is that talking about it as well is a hard part, right? People don't talk about gambling addiction. It gets worse and worse and worse because they keep it inside and isolate themselves. Yeah. Actually, I don't think gambling is a really bad thing, but we need to control and limit ourselves. Sometimes I would gamble. Sometimes I would gamble with my friends, but not on real money. The loser will pay dinner. Oh, okay. Fantastic. That's a cool thing. Yeah, having a friendly wager. we call that, Haishi, maybe you've heard it if you're living, of course, in Edinburgh, a friendly wager or a friendly bet. It means that it's not something that is going to do much damage to your wallet. Yes. There we go. That's an idiom that we saw in a video the other day. Gambling is unacceptable to me. I do not justify people who are addicted. Fair enough. Cool. My way of thinking, gambling can be fun to some extent because, as I said, it helps you loosen up. Yeah, in certain situations, good. However, the drawbacks of gambling outweigh the benefits. Very true. If you try very limited budget on gambling, it is a form of kickback and relax myself. Yes, it is a form of kicking back and relaxing. Yes, we can use ing for that. It is a form of kicking back and relaxing. Cool. Gambling addicts always end up. Yes, end up in the red, I do believe. Yes. We have a limited space, so our chats, that's why it's congestion. No problem. No problem at all. But I love the I love your examples. Fantastic stuff indeed. Very, very good. Now, I know most of you are interested and love idioms. So we're going to move on to idioms for now. Yes. This one's a great one. Play the ponies. This means, of course, to bet on horse racing, right? Playing the ponies. Pony is just kind of another word for horse. We usually say pony is a small horse. But yes, play the ponies means to bet on horse racing. The next one is throw the game. Now, this usually means like some sort of corruption, right? This means to lose the game on purpose. To lose the match on purpose. Maybe not necessarily like throw the game, but you could sometimes say that somebody did something, like let's say it's a football player and he got a red card on purpose, right? That's kind of throwing the game. All right. So yes, throwing the game is a very bad thing in sport. Very corrupt. In my opinion, I don't prefer gambling because there are many sad situations of suicide that causes many unhappy family stories. That children are the poor persons in these cases. Yes, there we go. Yes, the nice example there. Yeah, they do. Domenico, it's terrible when they do that. Very, very, very bad indeed. Roll the dice is another good one. This means to take a chance or take a risk. Yep. We usually use this in many situations. We don't only use it in the situation or the topic of gambling. We can use it in many situations. Roll the dice means to take a risk, take a chance. The next one is a good one. Put your money where your mouth is. So, this is a cool one. This means to challenge someone to back up what they say, right? By betting on it, right? For example, if somebody says, oh, this team's going to win today. They're going to win 2-0 football. You can say, okay, put your money where your mouth is, right? Meaning, okay, put a bet on it. If you believe it, put a bet on it. So yes, it's kind of challenging someone when they talk about something. And maybe that person is even saying, oh, I can beat you at this game. Then you can say, okay, put your money where your mouth is. Have a friendly wager between us. All right. The next one is have a lot riding on something. Now, this is an interesting one because this means that you are dependent on the successful outcome of something, right? Again, this could be used in many situations, is that you really need this to be successful. You really need this to be perfect. So you have a lot riding on something. The next one is have an ace up one's sleeve. Yes, I have a short shirt on today, or short sleeve shirt, so I don't have any sleeves. But yes, have an ace up one's sleeve means that you have a plan or an advantage that you can use if and when you need it. We can use this in many situations as well. The next one is the odds are against you. And this is quite simply put, it's likely that you will lose, or it's unlikely you will be successful. The odds are against you. Yes. Kind of like you are the underdog. Is another interesting idiom as well that we can use. You are the underdog. Someone is the favorite, meaning that they are supposed to win, and you are the underdog, which means they don't think you can win. So the odds are against you. And the last one is come down to the wire. This means to be unsure of the outcome until the very last minute. Yes, we don't know what's going to happen. Will the team win? Will the team lose? Will it be a draw? We don't know. So it goes down to the wire. This came from like a race when they used to cross like the wire, the finishing line, and it used to be very close. So we can say, yes, it's come down to the wire. Alrighty. So with that being said, let's have a look at our idioms quiz for today. Let's take a look here. Dun, dun, dun. I will just set it up. Okay, great. It should be fine. And I'm going to put it up here. There we go. So everyone should see of course, our our quiz here. So let's take a look at this one, right? In this industry, something, only about 5% of companies succeed. The odds are against you. It comes down to the wire. You have to play the ponies. Which idiom fits this sentence perfectly? Okay, so let's take a look at which ones they would use for this one. Okay, yes, in this industry, something, yes, only about 5% of companies succeed. When the season heads towards the end, some clubs throw the game to allow another team that are struggling for their survival to secure vital points to stay up in top flight. Yes. Many bets which made me end up rushed. I can imagine. Yes. Very, very good indeed. Yes. That's a good song. A very good song indeed. Very good. Well done. Yeah, that song's incredibly famous, right? Awesome, I love it. Okay, yes, well done. Very, very good indeed. Yes. All right, many of you have got the right answer already. Good. Aria, well done. Amina, yes. Tra, good. Haishi, Julia, good. The Mari, well done. Absolutely, you are correct indeed. Yes, in this industry, the odds are against you. Only about 5% of companies succeed. Yes, very, very true indeed. I think that's kind of like the energy drinks market, I believe. So as you can see, we can use them not only in gambling topics or betting topics, we can use them in other topics and talk about them as well. The next one, I've got a great tip, right? Tip is kind of like advice. Do you want to go and with me? Play the ponies, throw the game, roll the dice. Yes, interesting. Which one, again, fits this one? Remember, we looked at the idea of tip. I've got a great tip means advice. All right. Okay. Cool. Interesting. Yeah, I get what people are saying here. Absolutely. Very, very good indeed. But what's the meaning of roll the dice? Roll the dice means to take a risk, take a chance, right? But someone who has a tip, has advice, do they think it's a risk? Do they think it's a chance? Probably not. They think it's a dead cert because they're giving you a tip. They're telling you, this is very good. It cannot lose. So it's not risky at all. Therefore, we would have to use the first one, play the ponies, because the tip is usually about, horses, right? Or dogs, things like that. So in this case, I've got a great tip. I've got great advice. Do you want to go and play the ponies with me? Yes. So, that's the interesting one in it. Almost certain, yes. But is it? I never believe anyone. I never believe them. If they say I've got a dead cert, yeah, I've heard it too many times. Okay, the next one. Honestly, I this project, it needs to be finished on time. I have a lot riding on. I have to put my money where my mouth is on. I have an ace up my sleeve. Which is the perfect answer? We are gambling, maybe, yes. Guessing. Yeah, there is no money. Yeah. It reminds me of the cups and like the ball that the magicians use. They kind of switch it around and you have to guess which one the ball is under. So yes, honestly, this project, it needs to be finished on time. All right. Yes. Good. Okay. Nice. Indeed. All right. Yeah, because we're talking about the importance of it, right? It needs to be finished on time. Yes, you're absolutely right. Well done. Very good. Spot on. I have a lot riding on this project. Absolutely. It's very important, right? The next one is, what an exciting game. It really, I had no idea who was going to win. Through the game, came down to the wire, had a lot riding on it. Which is the correct answer for this one? Okay, good. Very good indeed. Awesome stuff. Yes. All right, well done. Absolutely. I think everyone is spot on. Julia, good. Mari, Aria, well done. Haichi, Dominico, well done. Very good indeed. Fantastic stuff. Boyana, yes. Very good as well. Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right, because we were uncertain of what was going to happen. It came down to the wire. Indeed it did. Try, yes. Very good. All right, the next one. Don't worry about it. They won't be able to say no, right? Don't worry about it. I have to roll the dice. Don't worry about it. I have the odds against me. Or don't worry about it. I have an ace up my sleeve. Right? Which one fits this sentence? This is good for like negotiations. Yeah. If you're negotiating with someone, this is kind of a cool one, right? Yeah, someone is getting a little bit worried or a little bit stressed. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you'll see. Boyana, yes, well done. Julia, great. Dominico, Aria, Thea, yes. Mari, well done. Awesome stuff. Trick, yeah. That's also a good one, yeah. That could be an interesting one, yeah. But yeah, in this case, yeah, I have an ace up my sleeve. Absolutely. The reason why we say ace, it means that we've got like a really big advantage. Yes. Trick could mean it's something that is a little bit suspicious. Yes. So you could be like doing something a bit suspicious. I've got a trick up my sleeve. But ace means that you've got a big advantage, something that's really good. The next one. You think you can beat me? Well, why don't you... and we'll see who's better. Come down to the wire, put your money where your mouth is, or roll the dice. Yes. Why don't you? Right, which one? Yes. Fighting talk, right? Okay. Good. Awesome. Yes, everybody's getting this one. Feeding one of my cats has become a bit of a drag, but I have an ace up my sleeve to get her to eat. There we go. That's awesome. Very good. Julia, yes. D, good. Boyana, Aria, well done. Tra, fantastic. Haichi Mari and Grindstone, Dominico, well done. Yes. Yes. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Absolutely. Challenging you. Yes. If your friend says, I'm better at this game than you, okay, well, let's challenge. Put your money where your mouth is. Let's give it a go. All right, the next one. I'm not sure about opening a new restaurant, but I want to do something and see what happens, right? I'm not sure about opening a new restaurant, but I want to something and see what happens. Have a lot riding on something, throw the game, or roll the dice. Which is the correct answer. This one's easy. This one's incredibly easy. Yeah, good. Very good. Okay, lovely stuff. Fantastic. All right. So, yes, Julia, good. Well done. Mari, yes. Boyana, yes. Dominico, yes. Haishi, yes, good. This one here means that, of course, taking a risk, taking a chance. I'm not sure about opening a new restaurant. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, I don't know. But I'm just going to roll the dice and see what happens. Meaning, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the chance because maybe it's successful. Maybe it's amazing. So yes, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take the chance. The next one. That's just unbelievable that they lost. I think they have an ace up their sleeve, through the game, put their money where their mouth is. Yes, it's unbelievable that they lost. Yes. I always hate it when that happens. Yeah, right? This one's horrible. Yeah, but it's happened many times. Many times. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Everyone's got this perfectly. Spot on, indeed. Dominica, yes. Boyana, yes. Julia, good. Mari, well done. Thea, yes. Tra, Aria, absolutely. Yes, indeed. They threw the game. Actually, in cricket, this was really, I would say, a bad situation a few years ago. Many teams, many players were involved in this. And also in England, lower level football was very, it was a very bad situation as well. So yes, through the game is the correct answer there. Awesome. Well done. Very good indeed. Lovely stuff. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, they make lots of money from throwing the game. That's why. Unfortunately. Okay, so the last part that we're going to come to is just a short conversation. Today, not very long. It's just a little bit of a short one, but it's kind of a cool one that you can see, of course, some of the vocabulary, the phrases being used in a little bit of a natural way. So let's give it a shot. Okay. So first, do you want to come to the casino with me tomorrow? I'm not really into gambling. Really? Why is that? Well, I have a bit of an addictive personality. I'm worried that if I start it and I like it, then I won't be able to stop. Ah, I see. I don't really have that problem. I've never been addicted to anything. I just find the casino a bit of fun and entertainment, having a little flutter on some of the table games. I suppose if I have a limit on what I spend, then it can't do much harm, can it? No, not really. I won't let it get out of hand. Have you ever bet on the horses? No, I don't really like that. I find it too unpredictable. Why's that? Oh, a friend of mine said he had a dead cert for this Friday, and I was thinking about putting a tenner on it, or on. Like laughing. Everyone with a tip thinks it's a dead cert. All right. So first of all, tenner, £10. In England, of course, the money is pounds. We have different, of course, denominations, the numbers. Of course, we have £1 coin, a £2 coin, £5 note, all right, a £5 note, £10 note, and a £20 note, £50 note as well. But usually at 5 and 10, we can say a fiver or a tenner, right? We can use those slang vocabulary to talk about money. So in this case, the person says, I was thinking about putting a tenner on. I was thinking about putting £10 on the bet. All right, so let's give it a go. I will be using the black sentences. You guys can be using the red sentences. All right, so let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm the black. I will be starting first. Do you want to come to the casino with me tomorrow? Really? Why is that? Ah, I see. I don't really have that problem. I've never been addicted to anything. I just find the casino a bit of fun and entertainment, having a little flutter on some of the table games. No, not really. I won't let it get out of hand. No, I don't really like that. I find it too unpredictable. Why's that? Huh. Everyone with a tip thinks it's a dead cert. All right, awesome, well done, very good indeed. Yes, tenner means £10. Fiver equals £5. A quid is a pound. All right. Yeah, very well done indeed. Domenico, many people, I would say, lost bets on those games. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. It's the terrible situation of throwing a game. Not good at all. All right, let's go ahead and change over. You guys can be using the black sentences. I will be using the red ones. So let's give it a go once again. You guys are starting. So ready? Let's go, please. I'm not really into gambling. Well, I have a bit of an addictive personality. I'm worried that if I start it and I like it, then I won't be able to stop. I suppose if I have a limit on what I spend, then it can't do much harm, can it? Have you ever bet on the horses? Oh, a friend of mine said he had a dead cert for this Friday, and I was thinking about putting a tenner on. All right, well done. Good job indeed. Thank you very much. Very well done, of course. Okay, so that there was just a sample conversation using some of the vocabulary that we looked at today. And of course, you know, looking at a general casual conversation between a couple of friends talking about whether or not they should go and gamble at the casino or on, of course, the horse racing. If somebody says it's a dead cert, yeah, I still question them. I don't know if it is. Anyway, for those of you who are still here, if you haven't already, please just like the stream or like the video. Again, it just pushes it out to a lot more people to try and get them, of course, joining our awesome little but hopefully growing English community that we are creating here. So yes, any of the likes, of course, will be very useful and helpful. So Aria, you have a question. Thank you very much. I love this question. But I'm just going to change over to here. There we go. So you mentioned a grand, right? A grand, yes, means £1,000. So as I said before, you've got like you've got a pound, which is a quid, £2, 2 quid, anything like that. Then you've got a fiver, a tenner. We just really say 20 quid, 50 quid. You can say 100 is a ton. Yeah, 100 is a ton. And then a grand is 1,000. Yeah, is okay indeed. Very good. Very, very good indeed. Yeah, a grand is fun. Yeah. It'll be nice to see a grand. Yeah. Well done indeed. All of the examples used for the idioms were really something. Thank you very much. No, I appreciate it. Thank you indeed. Yes. So in here, I will just type it up for you guys. So you've got quid, which equals £1, of course. Yeah. So a fiver equals £5. Yeah. Tenner equals £10, of course. There we go. A ton equals £100. There we go. And yes, a wad. We don't really say a wad of pounds, actually. We say a wad of cash. Yeah, a wad of cash is a better one, right? We would say, yeah, a wad of cash, yeah, is more, I would say, regularly used. Yeah. You'd be, oh, like, wow, did you see that? He's got a massive wad of cash in his wallet. You've got somebody just got loads and loads and loads of money. All right. No problem at all. Thank you all for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. And as I always ask, if you do have any friends or family that would like to, of course, come and join and learn English, even if you've got cats and dogs that like to use computers and tablets, invite them as well. But yes, please, let's try and, of course, grow our little English community together. But thank you all very, very much indeed. And I really appreciate all of you taking the time and joining me for today. I hope you had a great time. I did. It was great fun for me. I hope it was great fun for you. And I will be back with another video, most likely on Saturday. Yes. I'm not sure about in between, but definitely Saturday. This time it's at 9:30, 100%, because I've already recorded it. So yes, it won't be late this time. Thee, no problem. I do genuinely thank you as well for that one. Julia, a load of cash. There we go. Yes, a load of cash is good. Yeah, you can use a load of cash, a wad of cash. Either one is okay. But a wad is usually something that you could fit into your pocket. So it's not, it wouldn't be like a bag, right? So when we say a wad of cash, it's usually given by hand, or it's usually in somebody's wallet or purse. So yes, it wouldn't be too much, if you kind of understand, like, it wouldn't be more than what you can put inside your wallet. That's basically what I'm trying to say, yeah. But yes, you can use a load of cash as well. That's fine. Okay, Domenico, no problem. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate it a lot. All right, guys, that's it from me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, or if it's nighttime, like here, I hope you have an awesome sleep. And I will see you again on Saturday at 9:30. The recorded video will be coming out. And I'll give you a quick hint or tell you what it's about. It's going to be another real conversation. So you'll get to see lots of words, phrases that are used just naturally. So we're going to be releasing a video all about basic natural conversation. So hopefully that will be something that you can learn from and enjoy as well. So yes, thank you very much indeed. I will see you again very, very soon. Take care, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.